Welcome to the spoiler section. We're talking Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. First off, I gotta talk about the biggest problem I had with this and the thing that I think does the most active weird damage to the lore. And that is the Obscurus. Obscurial.
Oh wait, no, they called it two different names and never specified why the hell they did it.
Or which one was which, or if that's separated. So the big thing about this is, if you haven't seen the movie, is it's supposed to be, if you're magically inclined, we'll say, and you are actively repressed from doing these magic, you'll form this giant invisible beast that will wreck shop around you, and if you don't get it taken care of by age 9, you'll die. Now, for me, this is a big problem because you get a you get a Hogwarts letter at 12, and Harry had magical stuff happen all the time, and every time it did, his aunt and uncle were like, no, we're repressing you.
Back in the closet.
Yeah, literally back
with
in the
all of the
closet.
spiders. Go have some friends.
Yeah, so he should have had the biggest, ugliest tearing through the world obscure.
He should have.
Compared to the cartoon of child abuse we were given in this movie, Harry's fine.
But I mean, what do you have to be beaten with a belt on the hands instead of locked under?
Well, for 20 years of your life, because apparently he wasn't mentally an adult.
I didn't like that either. They just changed the rules halfway through and were like, it's a twist. It's that's just lying. You just lied to us about.
Well, and I had a really big problem. Speaking of Obscurio, I was curious. Eddie Redmayne's character has one, and then but he says he separated it from a little girl. But then we see the guy turn into one. So effectively, in his zoo, he's got an 8-year-old girl.
But
they don't explain how he.
He says he separated it, but we see you don't. It's not connected to you. You turn into it.
But we don't know if it's symbiotic or
parasitic.
He did say I can save you. So.
Well, I think you can extract it. I think it is meant to be
like a symbiote in Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like that a lot actually. Okay. Where it covers him and you can do these wild things, but you can also extract it.
But it's
that I was okay with. It was just the
20
general concept that didn't work for me. And then at the end, the worst part was they don't even resolve what happened to the Obscurial, the big Ezra Miller. You see it in the background floating away a little bit, and you're like, I guess this movie literally resolves nothing.
Other than that, Americans are bad.
Is it going to come back?
That's what I mean. It doesn't. It doesn't
now, right?
matter. It doesn't. There's no resolution.
Do we just assume maybe it's just his big toe that got away?
Just turns back to a big toe. That's the end.
Ew!
And then I couldn't believe that they stole the scene from Return of the Jedi with the Emperor electrocuting Luke.
I know. We were talking
They did that directly with Colin Farrell just sitting there electrocute, lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. I could kill you, but lightning bolt.
Yeah, even though, spoiler, he's Grindelwald, which they tell you in the first 5 minutes of the movie with just straight cinematography. They go to the back of Grindelwald's head, straight to the back of his head, and they have the same fucking haircut. Worst disguise ever. No. And the Revelio, like we were talking about earlier. Eddie Redmayne's character, for no reason, he's never met Grindelwald. He has no idea about it. He's not somebody who seems like he follows politics or any other things happening in the world than himself.
He's not an horror.
Yeah.
He's no.
He dispels this super powerful wizard spell.
Yeah.
It's just out of the blue.
Out of the blue, he just goes, ha! And
one thing I did like is they showed how powerful Grindelwald was, because he was just fucking Jedi moving shit all over the place without even a thought. He was the only one I felt was really magical. Yeah. Everybody else felt like they forgot they were wizards 90% of the time. They're like, other than using it as a gun and a shield.
A stun gun. Not even like a deadly gun, because no one uses Avada Kedavra.
Yeah,
well, we don't know what spells they were
no
using, because they were all white.
Yeah,
they were all homogenous. It was literally laser guns and shields.
Yeah, but not even with the benefit of red and green lasers to tell which is the good guys and which is the bad guys. It's all and I think maybe they were trying to go for there's no real good guy, because Grindelwald's whole thing is why should we hide? We shouldn't have to hide. And the movie, theming-wise, seems to be behind his point of view at 100%.
Yeah,
because
actually Eddie Redmayne's character actively says is actively for not hiding and integration.
Well, and everything about the Obscurial theme is be who you are so that you don't die, and it'll have all these terrible effects. But the good guys are hey, no, we need to keep this all secret. We have no reason at all to do any of this, which just doesn't line up with the Harry Potter world and
Yeah.
like all of it.
Yeah.
Because this is supposed to take place in, like you said, late 20s, early
Yeah.
30s,
Mhm.
and then the Harry
But-
Potter books that take place in the 2000s.
No,
It's
the
like
Harry Potter books. I think they're actually set more in the 80s. There's no cell phones. There's no like.
No,
they're-
no,
they're
no.
s-
Well-
they don't have cell phones. They still use and
no. I mean,
No, near the end of the books, they start having some.
yeah. Well, the end of the books is
no,
20 years
but
later.
they're supposed to be
They're
modern.
like
times.
set in the early
See,
90s, early.
Okay,
20s.
but not 2000s.
late
Like,
90s, early 20s.
Nobody
doesn't-
even mentions
But
cell phones.
in
Even
any case,
Hermione.
there's this huge gap in time where apparently things got really regressive and like they don't really explain it. And
Which I
then-
guess with the age of Grindelwald and Dumbledore, that's
Well,
But we don't
Dumbledore's
know
like
how old.
ancient. I
yeah.
mean, we have
exactly.
no idea how old these
yeah,
is.
that could be explained away. As
He could be Merlin's age.
But I mean,
aging backwards.
everything with the
I'm
American
-6 today.
everything with the American government was super weird. Like Grindelwald is able to put 2 people to death by just going, yes, kill them. And
Yeah.
like we've seen wizard courts. Like it'd be one
Yeah.
thing if there was precedent, but we know that there's wizard courts.
Yeah,
freaking
well, that
everywhere.
was author kind of pushing agenda of
bias.
it was a little biased. I'm not gonna lie. It was one of those. You know, she's trying to say anti Guantanamo Bay, execution, which the execution chamber. Think about that.
that
Harry
was
Potter
dark.
execution chamber, where they take your fondest memory out of your head and drown you in it in this black horribleness that destroys the chair that's floating in the middle of it for no reason because
they're
Where did
Doctor
that come
Evil.
From?
Because-
Where-
well, and
where's
the fact when you
I've
first
idea for a chamber. Well, why don't we just use the killer spell?
Oh my
No, this
God.
is gonna be awesome.
well, not only that, when you first get in it and everything about it screams, "This is a gas chamber."
Yeah.
Not it totally. That was another problem I felt.
Oh,
Tone
man.
Yeah.
throughout the movie was child abuse, wacky fun, child abuse, wacky fun, death to people, life.
Yeah, that chamber was the main thing I think that just
Hell.
kind of gave me the little goosebumps watching that movie. I just did not like that chamber. That was
Well, and like
tipped over the
well,
boundary.
it's funny because they were going for like this super oppressive government and like with the wands to the neck, everything that built tension. That was cool.
Yeah.
Then that extra step into crazy town was just like no, I can't take you seriously.
When you're building James Bond villain traps, like
Well, that's a James Bond villain. That is a perfect. All the villains were total James Bond. Like part of the good thing about the Harry Potter universe is that Voldemort, he's a fantastic villain. He has. That's
He's
what makes
like
it
the
great.
perfect picture of a villain.
Exactly,
And
but he also has an argument that can draw people to his side and all this other stuff, and that's
he's
what
like
makes him great.
fascist.
In this one, it's just like you feel like they're gonna chase Rocky and Bullwinkle, not a Harry Potter movie, Like,
Well, I don't know what
yeah, for
his
something
end,
you really enjoy.
I don't know what his end goal is. And that was a big problem. Like the first 20 or 30 minutes of this movie, you don't know what anybody wants or what they're trying to do. It just looks like that Newt is really bad at his job. There's the cliche of matching briefcases, despite the fact that Newt's must be custom made.
Not only that, Newt's entire life is in this suitcase. Everything in the world that he loves, and all of a sudden he's like, this is just as good. Doesn't notice.
Also, we have a baker who put all of his pastries in a suitcase.
No, that's fine.
was
They didn't have fashionable confectionery cases in the 20s.
Well,
I liked that. That was
just-
cute
he's just-
presentation.
Why did he
Hold
buy a
on.
briefcase?
Why did
for
he
that?
go? Why did he go to the bank with no collateral, thinking he'd get a loan by giving him a donut?
Because he's a child. I have no idea.
He's a cute
No,
little teddy bear.
Yeah, but apparently, no, he's a veteran. You guys be nice to that.
Oh man, well they mentioned World War One, right? And this was like
Yeah,
a weird.
they
This was a
did.
weird thing because he's like, "Did you fight in the war?" And Newt's like, "Oh, I was with
everyone
dragons
did.
On
in
the
this-
Eastern Front.
On the Eastern Front, and
Yeah.
then later they're like, "It's not the war hero." It's like, "I think it's his little brother." And they're like, "So did he fight in the war or not? Like, why
Yeah.
would you bother muddying that up? I don't know." It makes Newt.
No, it
really,
wasn't. I think his little brother. It was no. That's his little
Yeah,
brother.
it-
Like no, is that maybe the exaggeration of what people are expecting war hero to look like, or maybe we'll find out that he used to be gregarious like Hufflepuff, and war changed him, but they led none of it. Like this is all
man.
me having to pull this out of something to be like, please let the next movie be good.
Yeah.
Maybe is this it? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm grasping at straws.
Can we talk about the ending? Can we talk about the Deus Ex Griffin Thunderbolt cat?
Because everybody, yeah, that's not.
So the way that the movie resolves, because they're like, oh man, that thing tore through New York. We can't just obscure
Obliviate.
Yeah.
We can't obliviate everyone. And they're like, and he's like, I've got it. And he opens up his briefcase, gets the Thunderbird out of it, and he's like, take this tiny vial of liquid.
Which
now,
is
now spread it into rain, and that'll make everyone forget.
What was that?
The swooping evil.
Swooping
No,
evils.
it wasn't the swooping.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was?
It was
Yeah.
because he milks it out and then like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. See,
Yeah.
because okay, so we must have made a mistake in about what bit. I think it's Frank, right?
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
that weird.
No,
mole
fleshy
rat
plate.
thing.
We didn't know for sure what. Yeah, that thing was
No, we knew it.
disturbing. Well, like no, because the thing we see about it is at the very end of the movie, you see him touch his neck, so like he had an immunity to the poison, and he's starting to remember. And they show that he remembers a lot in like all his pastries look like the Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, but like I think he.
Which I'm sorry, I'd be like, I don't want to eat.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's a weird pastry.
But I mean, maybe
is
it
it
was-
supposed to be an elephant, a rhino? No, I don't know what it is.
It's supposed to have lava in its head.
You're an odd man.
they
That scene was a little.
Cheese.
let's face it, Scamander is the reason a lot of laws got put in place. Like,
Oh my
man.
god. Well, the reason he didn't get kicked out of Hogwarts. He didn't get kicked
yeah,
out of
he
Hogwarts.
did.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
But Dumbledore was like,
Yeah.
that was
I
not
like him.
right."
He's got a suitcase.
I-
He's a main character later. I have to like him.
He saw potential in the
Well,
cute
like, yeah.
But the biggest thing. All right. So at the end, it rains, and the rain is supposed to make people forget.
Yes.
And the doofy thing was like.
a lot of people inside.
They take so long with the baker like sitting there. He's like, I guess I'm gonna go outside now.
Oh my
I guess
god.
I'm gonna do it.
Heartbreaking scene, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah, you're like-
you're waiting at any point for them to diverge from where they're obviously going. You're like, get in the box, just teleport anywhere else. Just don't like. And he's
Do
like,
anything.
he's throughout
They're
the
like,
movie.
no, we
he's
want to
having-
make sure that the most likable character gets screwed over right at the last minute,
Not only
just
that,
in case you liked any
it's
part of this movie.
so sad because they throughout the movie, the entire movie, they're like, somebody obliviate that. Like, and he's just like, what's
No, I
that?
don't
I
want
don't know. And he's going along, and then he's having such a good time by the end of it. Like he's like,
Yeah.
he feels part of it. He's such a good character.
The wonder he experiences
Fucking-
is so genuine.
Yes,
I
and so
really thought they were
lovable.
just gonna
Yeah.
like leave him alone, but the
Yeah.
mad
I
person was
expected-
like, "All right, obliviate him." I'm like, "What?"
And then they
I expect
listen
that
to it.
yeah,
I know.
Scamander, who hasn't followed any laws up to the point where he's just like,
And then he's just, he just
get in!
I
We're
expected-
going fantastic places, and then adventure ending.
Why didn't his love interest just, instead of letting him walk out, grab him, teleport, and then we just see them in Arizona later
Well,
or
because she
something?
wanted
Just
to-
like,
yeah.
Because
Like-
she wanted kind of less consequences out of this. She just wanted a quick kiss and get the fuck out.
She shows up again at the end.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
they,
no,
if
I was-
they
if you're
sit
gonna-
in like
I was
romantic,
being facetious.
yeah. If you're gonna set it up, just go for it as well as, and then you don't have to do that awkward bakery scene. He could have just been baking the same thing, but known what it was somewhere else.
Well-
And then it shows. The worst part was it shows inside a house as this guy's like showering. He's like, oh my god. I have no idea what's going on right now. It's like, that's not how rainwater works.
Well,
It
that-
doesn't just go down into like your pipes. Also, how long does that stuff make you forget things?
Yeah.
Because
Is
that
it
could
Tuesday? Is it Monday? Is it Sunday?
like it's such like
You've contaminated New York's water supply with amnesia.
and they never
how long do the
Yeah.
effects stay? Like,
He said it's super powerful.
Yeah. So it's like that's wildly irresponsible.
oh boy. Forget it.
Maybe
Everyone
there's
forgets who
magical
they are and
filters.
what they're doing.
I don't even know. Like it was
I want to know who was like if somebody was driving. Like, what about people who died in all of the explosions? Like, buildings are destroyed and torn down. Like, how are they explaining away all the dead people? Like,
magical fix me skip bells. They put the building back together, they put the person back together.
my brother! You had no brother. I had no
Oh,
brother.
man, I wish I had a brother.
I feel like I'd be such a good older brother.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Oh my god, that just got super sad.
and
Like,
well, and it just like
it was bad a guy losing a few days. Like,
well, it just that's what I mean by like J.K. Rowling's an accomplished author. We should be able to
Yeah.
hold her to a certain standard, and that ending is so just like, it's fine. It's fine. Like I don't know. It was different in the Harry Potter movies because they're set in the present, and if something
Yeah,
gets revealed,
okay.
the consequences can cascade
Harry
from that.
Potter endings were.
yeah.
Oh
so good.
wow.
But like because she has to tie things up in this weird, neat way with this movie, like she really hamstrung herself in a lot
Yeah.
of ways. And again, that's why I'm worried about these being prequels. Like
Everybody liked episode 1. don't forget that. Think back to when episode
look
1
at
came out.
early reviews.
There were so many people like, oh my god, it's so good to be back in this universe, and oh my gosh.
And I'm sure that other stuff will make sense later.
Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was so makes sense later.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for these prequels because it gives us a chance, viewers, to actually get a little bit more of the history. And that's mostly why
yeah.
I'm excited.
Well,
Because
and
I get more history.
But like I said earlier, like I'm just worried. Like
Yeah.
that's supposed to be the bonus. Like you know what's going on with Grindelwald and basically how that ends. So these side things that you learn are supposed to add and be cool. Everything we learned about America and New York and wizarding at the time, it was like
Sad.
that's it. It's like
Sad.
it's like
Yeah.
really annoying. Also, Ron Perlman's
Oh,
dwarf.
okay.
With no makeup, come on.
Come on, Ron Perlman.
No, he was a goblin.
Yeah, he was a goblin.
The entire time he was on screen, I was looking at his fingers bending like
Yeah.
backwards. I'm just
What
like,
was that?
No, all the
What the
goblins have done that in
Oh,
the movies.
oh,
Really?
God.
Yeah, they have like hyperdexterity, so they do a lot
God,
of
I
this.
guess I've
I don't
never
like that.
noticed that. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that
'cause
was I
there's-
probably noticed it because he was holding something in
Yeah.
his hands, and I was just like, what the.
And can we talk about Newt? The most important thing in his life is his creatures and everything. And he's like, I'll trade you for information. He's like, which one?
No,
No, not this
no.
one. Sorry, I said no once. That means I really care.
And then he just tells it later, I had a plan to get you back, when clearly he had no plan.
The
at
goblin's
all.
like, I called the cops, ruined my whole business. I have nothing personally against you at all. Like I just met you, but I called the cops.
and
what
I
am I
ruined
doing
my
with my
speakeasy
life?
forever.
Okay, I felt the pain with that little guy, him holding
Oh,
on. I
absolutely.
felt the
that's,
pain.
but that's the thing. You felt more before the CG plant dude than you felt
For anybody
Okay.
but
for
Baker.
like think about it. The beasts were the most sympathetic
They
characters
were.
in it. Like they
They
were,
were.
and
And
they were
having-
just poor, trapped, and everything.
Yeah.
They were like, without them, this would have been.
A disaster.
The mating rhino.
Well, think about it.
Oh
like,
my God.
But unfortunately, the beasts are mostly filler.
Oh yes. None of
With-
their story really matters.
Without it,
to the
it's
rest of
just
it.
it's just child abuse being manipulated by greater powers.
Yeah.
Like for power. Like it would have been a
the Beasts are the
depressing
movie. I mean,
The Beasts are the movie. though.
yeah,
That's
you
the problem.
can't. Yeah.
The Beasts are only an excuse to. They're only a red herring to the actual main plot.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, people think these beasts are doing things, and he's like, no, they literally couldn't be any of these beasts. And instead of being able to articulate or talk it out or really work with the local government there, like a Hufflepuff would, that would have been great though. Like it would have been interesting if he was actually working with people and they were like trying to do this thing, and then it sort of unfolds instead of them like running and hiding and having to like stay with those two girls for some reason.
Yeah. You're a
Like,
known
very-
criminal. Welcome to my house.
Very manufactured.
Yeah, she was a little.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
like there's a lot of manufactured scenes like that. Like it just
Can we say what we'd like to see more of? I would like to see, like when he's cooperating with the beasts and they're going around like the exciting stuff, like that was cool. And
Yeah.
then the going and finding stuff and him explaining and knowing about him, like he's get him in the teapot, like the things where Newt shines.
yeah.
I want to see much more of that. And I feel like
Yeah,
the
his
reason
knowledge of those
Yeah.
beasts.
And I feel like the reason he stayed so monotone in this, thinking about it, if you're planning 5 movies, I think she's just going to do it way too slowly. She's going to evolve him over 5 movies, and it's going to be really kind of a trot if it doesn't pick up in the next
He
movie.
doesn't discover any new creatures. That bothers me a
Yeah,
lot
we
because
have
he's
fi-
writing a book about these creatures, and I thought when they first pitched it, I was like, oh great, we're gonna
Yeah,
like
we're
learn
gonna-
about
yeah,
him,
Completely new
Yeah.
creatures.
and instead
Oh, we
it's
find out
just I'm a bad zookeeper.
And I lied on my
Bad
visa.
zookeeper.
He lied on his visa. She's like, I applied for a potions thing, and you're like, you fucking liar. Like,
Well, and it would have been one thing if they would have explained like, oh, Thunderbirds are being hunted for whatever, like they're extremely endangered.
Yeah, if
they're
they would have
like,
explained it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the main part of like the textbook is like you explain everything about the
One
beasts,
sentence.
and we don't get any.
If there was one sentence
Yeah.
about
I like
why.
gold. I'm gonna take all the gold and stuff it into my little pouch.
well, we all see that Hagrid is a much better keeper than Newt.
As long as it's not spiders.
But he teaches
Oh my
with
God, oh my
Newt's
God, oh my
book.
God.
I don't know.
But hey, Harry got, or at least Hagrid got along with his spiders. Like,
Mm.
none of them ever did
Are you
anything
a friend
against
of
Hagrid.
Hagrid's?
Well, none of them do anything against Newt either.
But he has to keep. I feel like he has to like
He's
keep
good.
He has a loose. They all keep wanting to run the fuck away from him.
No, just the gold snatching one is really.
No, all of them that got out, they
Yep.
didn't go back into the case. They were looking for somewhere to roll out.
Well, they're
Well,
animals.
No,
They-
no. See, there was the flying bird snake thing,
Yeah.
which
The
the monkey
creepy
went
guy.
after
Bird
because
snake
it
thing.
like is its babysitter.
Yeah.
Like it cares about it and takes care of that. So that could have just been like
And
scary
then the
young.
giant rhino. Can we discuss how the giant rhino got out of the suitcase?
Oh my god, that
But a fat guy gets stuck. He's like,
well, that
funny,
one,
but breaking.
that one shot where it's like underneath the ice,
That was cool.
and then like they never explain. They go back to that same lake, and it's not broken. How did it get down there? How did no one see it? How did it break out? It breaks into the zoo. No one talks about it. There's no news crew. There's no cops. It's just.
Can we say how irresponsible it is to bring a lava-spewing rhino that's 4 times the size of a regular rhino anywhere? Like, Newt comes off, like, and then you see his exhibits actively eating each other.
How did that rhino get out of the case?
How did the fat guy get stuck in the case when that giant-ass thing, and I just...
Yeah, like, this is what I mean. Like, the more you think about the movie, and maybe, that's why us Ravenclaws really didn't enjoy it. The more you think
enjoyed
of...
it.
Excuse
Hold
me.
on, hold on. I enjoyed it.
I mean,
Wow.
It's enjoyable, but like I said, I want to see it again so I can enjoy it fully.
but the
It just-
more you think about it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, there are some
Yeah.
things that have problems, but
Mhm. No, I know, and that's what I mean. Like if
it's enjoyable.
if things
Would you
making
I just
sense
said it was
or
enjoyable.
following
Easier.
facts or logic holes bother you, like that's
Yeah.
gonna really be the downfall of this movie for you. That's what I mean by that. It's
Although-
like if
Yeah.
those are the things that you really like, if those are things you really like value in story, like
Yeah.
this is gonna eat at you like a lot.
I cannot
Yeah.
wait to see more Crocodile Hunter in the Harry Potter world. That's the
Is
parts-
Newt even gonna be in the next movie?
I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
the main character.
Is he?
No, I know. I mean, I haven't heard. All we've heard is Johnny
I
Depp
know.
is signed up.
I
for
just
this.
Yeah, that's all
assumed
we've
I guess.
heard.
Yeah.
Is
Because I was assuming that it was going to be the adventures of Newt Scamander.
That's what I thought
Mhm.
too, but I haven't heard anything to verify that yet.
Mm.
So
Well, you have to...
well,
what
right
character
now
could you
we're
even take
going with
out of this movie?
Grindelwald and Dumbledore and their war and the Deathly Hallows War.
But you can't put them as
But-
the main characters. And this is before their war. This is...
No, I know, but
this
it-
is the
Yeah.
20s.
it could be anyone. It could be any random. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it'll be other authors of other books.
Oh, that'd
Who
be kind
knows?
of neat.
I mean, you could totally do it if you
All
actually
Avengers.
commit to it. Like,
Poor Ollivander.
yeah. All right, this is going long. We've talked a lot about it. Let's go ahead and we'll do a quick summary of how you feel about it, and then a recommend, don't recommend. Ty, you want to start us this time?
Sure. Okay, so overall feeling, fun adventure movie. A lot of weird things happen that'll make you say, what? Probably have to see it twice to fully enjoy it, but definitely see it once. If you're a Harry Potter fan, prepare to rethink what you think you know about the Harry Potter world.
That is true.
Hey, Jordan.
Oh, okay. Like I said before, it's completely and utterly fantastic. But after talking a bit, I have to say my views have changed just slightly down below. Still think it's a great movie, but there are some plot errors. Maybe not errors, but there are some things that need to be fixed. I am excited to see some of the unanswered questions be answered, because at the ending, I have probably an entire paper full of questions about what are they gonna do. So I recommend it, and if you're a Potterhead, like he said, that you will, get a little cringy in it, but it will be utterly enjoyable. So
Yeah, you know what? If you're a Harry Potter fan, you're already you're gonna see this. You're already there.
Yeah,
If you
that's a
are on the fence about this at all, just wait for it on streaming or wait for it later. It's really not solid enough for me personally to say go out and spend $14 on a movie ticket.
or 16.
It's a lot of it is frustrating in the way that things are set up. There's a lot that's not really explained. It's all it feels a lot of the things that people complain about the Marvel movies for, where it feels like an episode of TV, or like you're not getting you get only a piece of the story, not really a whole, so it's less satisfying. I feel like all of those critiques can also be leveled at this movie.
I don't share those critiques for the Marvel movies.
No, I don't either. That's how but that is a common
Sorry,
critique you hear of the Marvel movies.
I hadn't heard that yet, so I
Oh
was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
No,
what
no,
the
that's not me. I'm not like
Sorry.
that's not me.
Continue.
I
Very
enjoy the
well.
Marvel movies quite a bit as well. But for me, yeah, hardcore Potter fans, you're gonna be like, oh man, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do
there's
that.
a-
That doesn't make sense. So it's gonna be hard for me to really recommend it to them. If you're like a casual Potter fan and you don't really care too much about the lore and you're just like there to have a good time, maybe then go see it. But overall, for me, this is not a recommend. I didn't I didn't have a good time. It's not like a well-crafted narrative, in my opinion, and it's just shy of being charming enough to really get a recommend for me. It's just not. It's not solid enough, and I'm worried. I'm now actively worried about the franchise and moving forward. And I really hope.
Hopefully they will get.
There's always
better.
hope.
I always want to be wrong on these things. I
Always hope.
always want to be wrong when I
course.
say that, like, oh, this is bad. It's going to be bad. And I hope it can make a pivot from this. I feel like JK never gets bad feedback, so I'm hoping if she gets a little like pushback on this, she'll
stop
trying.
Lucasing.
She'll start trying a little harder. Yeah, because she is very much going back, changing the lore, writing prequels. So I'm hoping that this might be a little bit of a wake-up call for her. Luckily, it's not god awful, so we don't. It's not like a stain on it.
Do you think it would have worked with a different cast?
No, I don't think the cast was the problem. I think the writing was the biggest problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like this cast pulled off this story.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
if it was a different cast,
Mm.
and if it was even 3/4 as talented cast, I don't think it would have worked.
Oh, man.
Because like a lot of the charm came from the way it was done.
Directly from the actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Okay.
Unhappy, unhappy but hopeful, I guess.
Happy but hopeful.
Yeah.
Like most religions.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Look out.
I didn't
Bird.
All right, so that's our show for this week. Remember, if you'd like to join the crew remember, if you'd like to join the crew for Stubtown, if you'd like to be on the show or work on the show, come join PSU TV. You can either email us at contact@psu.tv or find us in the sub-basement of Smith's Memorial Student Union.
or be related.
Or just get drug in by your twin brother. That's a very limited audience.
Just get pushed in the door.
Or get pushed the door. With that, we'll see you next week. I think we're going to do Moana, so see you for Moana. Bye.
Y'all come back now.
Abracadabra.
All right.